All right, y'all, part 2 on the 4-8 eclipse and the alignments on the 3 suns into the 1 ring on 4-6 and 4-7, and that Pennsylvania, that PA, that speaker system, and it's in that Lincoln Stadium. And we see the UFC 300, which is on the 13th or 14th or whatever, but that's going to tie into Sparta and that kind of shit. So, the Roman Colosseum, we can see had some issues, and part of it's missing. This can be one of those times where the T-Mobile and that gas, that Vegas, we might see something go down there. Or that open air stadium, kind of looks like a subwoofer. That might be blown because we're living on different speeds and different series of the Back to the Future series. And this is connects to the 85, 88, 89, and 90. And that's where you have that wrestling that's half real, half fake, the greatest sport of all time kind of thing merging in. And it's going to bring in some half real and half fake kind of things. And as this brings in some half real and half fake kind of things, that's that merge of that rapture to the rapture, where the Kelsey, he gave her the jacket. Okay? And she accepted it. So this is where that jacket is coming for that ring and that blackjack table, and going blind for those card games going on and things, and spades and bridge and whatever games you play blind on, because the eclipse is coming. And if you don't have your glasses, you didn't get your 20/20 vision, or you don't know about the things, then you're not gonna understand, right? So, all right. So as the ring of fire is being placed on this nation, it is very possible the 4-8 or the 4-9 day, we wake up to a new America. All right. And, or the 4-10, that 10-4 day. That 10-4 day was shown on the Trump day with that speaker blowing. Okay. So, and if I do my memory right, I think that's on a Wednesday, the hump day. So maybe this is okay. So it may not actually be on the 4th. We might get that 30 cities of the parachutes where they're going down, but we may not get that actual big whammy. But these kinds of things, there's going to be something on 4-8 that's going to shake something up. Okay? And depending on these, it's going to be like a warning, like you already got to get home. Just cut your trip early or whatever, all right? We know you got it for the weekend or a couple days or whatever kind of thing. But it'll be all different things. But we just got to have the eyes and ears to see, because we've kind of been waiting for that intoxication event that I've been talking about. And that intoxication event is lining up with this TikTok event. And the TikTok event has been banned. And the Apple Vision has been released on Feb 2, 2024. And that's the 4-8 broke down. And the Trump Visibility Day has come out on Election Day to mark it in your right hand to express how you can vote and worship his name and number, the 45 and 47 or 45 and 48, whichever ones are coming up. The 47 agenda is that El Even event there to bring down the nation. So that's where we'd see that 47 event coming as Kamala being the 47. And this can tie into Jill and Kamala riding each other, riding the back of the man, and going into those phrases where all things are run like, well, I got to get my wife's permission. And this, you hear this a lot in church and shit. Well, and whatever. And they say this when the wives can't even speak in the church, according to the bell worship. And that's why back in 1950s, the dudes had to order the chicks food, because they weren't allowed to speak out in public and shit. So if you want that, go over there to DeSantis. Go down there to Texas and shit, because that's what's coming. And your kids aren't going to be able to use technology. You're going to leave the AI out of the brain. And they're going to be fucking dumb and left behind. And different things in this techno music that comes during the 80s when Biden's 81 and beyond, during that cycle. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music playing loud, breaking open. And then we got that trance music for the 90s and taking us up to that 666 flipping whatever for those trance days and the nightclubs. And we got the 2 nights coming on 46 and 47 to battle it out. So all these things are lining up. All right. So a new reality is coming, basically. And this 48 to the 48 is that final 4 in a matter of speaking. And in this final 4, the 2 witnesses come and probably a few settings, but these are to break down and stop the rain for 2 to 2.5 years or whatever. All right. And as it stops the rain, and 2.5 years is just the simple math, but that takes us into that alphabet, and that alphabet, that A, is being shown on America with these eclipses crossing over, creating these crossroads from one time to another time, letting you know that the tribulation is upon you, letting you know the woman was covered in the sun, and then that sun, the dawn, started shining light on y'all, and then he opened the pit. He brought the invisible enemy upon you, that Trojan horse, that everybody had that serpent bite him, and that serpent is giving birth for next year after the year of the dragon, who's being cast down to the ground, who's losing his legs. All right, and those legs are from fucking walking around, because it's a good chance that on 410, that 10-4 day backwards, or 4-8 or whatever, there comes that EMP type of event or money event or whatever where you're stuck. All right, and this is where the time where if you're not affected by these things, you got to get out. All right, so in order for the rapture to come and the shit to happen, the squatters have to be shown, and that's what we're seeing now. So this is where these people are going to be squatting for a bit in these times. So this is why all these people are talking about this eclipse in a matter of speaking. You're seeing it on your feeds or whatever, because they're preparing people, and they're getting it to where these people have it on their feeds and they can go back and listen to these people or whatever, right? But either way. So let's get into some of the wrestling connections. And this is literally the perfect setting, and it's the last day of the Ramadan. It could be that red dawn invasion in a way, and this would be that red dawn when people wake up pissed and the money's gone, or the electric's out, or their phones are out, or whatever, right? We've been seeing these outages with the dark web. We've been seeing all these things in the 10 days that Trump had to pay, and he paid it a little early. And depending on the count, it was on the 7-day or 8-day. And the quakes started, depending on the count, on the 9-day or the 10-day, depending, and including or not including. And that including, you can hear it, ding, ding, ding. And the not including includes something tied on those ends, those loose ends for the times. The people are in the tents. That's the begot tents, and that's the part of the lots pitching their tents to the Sodom, and Gomorrah. So pissed this happened, blah, blah, blah. I never saw it coming. Well, you should have seen it coming, or you should have been reading the news or whatever. They're telling you all of it. And then Joe, the coat of many colors, the birth of Jesus. He's your Joseph. And Joseph is a prophetic sign, or a sign of Jesus, right? So he's lining up with Nineveh, and Nineveh is giving their signs of the left and right and judgment and things. So this is where these things are lining, and all people are just lining up to this dark line, this darkness. All right. And the Jesus can come as a lion. And that lion is the line that your crosses everywhere, that hangs up your wire, your electric, your God is light. All right. So, as we're going from spiritual to carnal, this is where we see the overlay of the 46 and 47, the 3 suns into the 1 ring. And then we see the ring of the eclipse in October being laid onto America's, the bride's, the ring finger. And that's why Lady Liberty is accepting that ring. And that's why you woke up today with that 4-8 so-called, or force 7 quake in New York, and that's connecting to that force 7 and 4.8 coming up. And that also connects to the 4.7 and 4.8 on the presidencies, about how when Biden is taken out and that 47 comes in, there's going to be a quake upon this land and a spiritual essence and such. And that's going to give rise to the Trump army and the SS, the dead in Christ, and the church that's seeking salvation, where dawn is their light. That 600 of the 6 is that DC, and that 6 ties to that 49. Because if the 47 comes in early, the 25 is in the 48 is in the 24, the double, the dubel, and then you take that into the 46, the 36, all right, on those times to give you that man to bring in his nation, all right? And so that's where you line up the 48 to the 48, the A, the crosses on the America, the crossroads, to the A for the alphabet. The alphabet connects us to the 20s, 26, the A for the Z. The Z is for that lightning cast down to the ground, or your way up to heaven, all right? Either whichever time tunnel you want to be on. But the beast, they don't like techno music or the trance music. They don't like the night club. They don't understand that the moon is its own light. It does not have to reflect the sun. The moon is its own light. It's a cool light. Who doesn't want to be cool? It comes out in the day. It comes out in the night. Does a little bit of both. Sleeps in. Doesn't do shit sometimes. So, do you want to be the sun or the moon? The moon sometimes works. It works a little bit here and there. Or do you want to be the sun where you have to work every fucking day? You got to do what it says. All right, so we got two things going on here. Things being shown to us deeper in the Bible that are not given to you by your wolf. A wolf is a dog. A dog is a god backwards. So it's a backwards god. It's this dude trying to control you, trying to put light on you, that lives a shitty life just like you live, supposedly. All right, so everybody's filthy. So if everybody's filthy, that means everybody's clean. And that's why the lie is in the soap. And the soap, the lie, is made from the ash. And the ash comes from the burn. The burn comes from climbing up the candlesticks, where you get up to that light. It seems so bright and beautiful, but then you get up there and you get fucking burned as you get closer and closer to the light. You realize what it is. Where you had the light all around you before. Doesn't need to be so fucking bright. That's where you have your right and your left. Your candlesticks, they're divided. But the rye is connected to the AC. So, either way, dude. And the ID, the AC and ID. And the ID is me, the day. Me, the 4. Me, the spirit. The 4 is the spirit. So, either way, folks, I guess we'll do a part 3 on the wrestling connections. And, just took a little bit more on the old rabbit trails, but we're going to break this down. This eclipse is something special. And there's a reason why they're talking about it. And, things are shaking up to it. The Taiwan quake, that might be, I have to do another thing on that. Anyways, we'll end it here.